I'm Sergeant Michael Timmons.
And we're going to have two more people coming, and hopefully they'll actually let them in. First off, we have this disclaimer on our website, and we feel the need to include it at all of our panels. And just to summarize that big thing, we're going to talk about a lot of things here that if you go out in the street and do them today, you will get arrested and possibly shot for. First of all, don't do any of this unless there is an honest-to-God, provable zombie apocalypse. Second of all, if you do, my name is Frank West, and you don't know me. And part two is, we always give special thanks to Max Brooks and George A. Romero for, all the wonderful media that we have sort of paraphrased and plagiarized, and to the rest of the Greenlight Anti-Zombie Squad members who either aren't here or are here but not doing the panel. Also, because this microphone isn't picking up well, if at any point anybody can't hear me, just, yell at me and let me know. Now, for those of you who don't know, what is a zombie? The obvious, the little less obvious, and I swear to God, we're not alcoholics. And in case you didn't figure it out by now, that is a zombie. Note such defining features as the blank stare, large amounts of blood, probably from recently acquired meals of brains, and that really tacky suit. Anyway, types of outbreaks that you will encounter. Class 1, low-level outbreaks, not many zombies, not many casualties, the kind of things a couple good old boys can take care of. Class 2, little bit bigger, still no big deal, won't last that long either, might actually make the news, but not much beyond that. Then you get to Class 3, where things start getting interesting. Not quite apocalypse level yet, but a lot of people are gonna die. Class 4 is, Dawn of the Dead, Left 4 Dead, all those great games where the zombies outnumber everything. And yes, we figured out that that means there'll be free cars for all. Pre-outbreak prep, why we're here. First thing you need to do, pre-plan. That's kind of self-explanatory, but sit down. You don't have to make any concrete, definitive, action plans and operations, but come up with a general idea of what you're going to do. This is why we were formed. Strategize, sort of the same thing, but now you look at it more as how to do what you planned and who and what you need to do it. Then you start to gather your group and supplies. Then, once you've done all this, you still need to sit down and assess the skills each group member possesses. Everybody here would like to think they're a ninja and a sniper, but it's not true. Some people are and are going to be the ones that you look to when zombie heads need cracking. Some people are going to be the ones you look to, when your car breaks down, or when you're hungry and are sick of refried beans. But everybody has a job to do, and no job is any less important than another. Some basic equipment, I don't need to go in depth about all of it, because there's a lot.
Just the basics.
One key thing that I would like to point out, because most people don't think of it. The right side, the bottom bullet, water purification device, things like iodine tablets, or those nice nifty, UV lights that you put in a bottle and it radiates and irradiates and unradiates your water into cleanliness. People tend to underestimate the importance of clean drinking water. And odds are not everything you find that is liquid. Here are our other members. Forgive us, we're not, we forgot to do the pre-planning part. But a lot of the sources of standing and or running water you'll find may not necessarily be safe for consumption, especially once you lose things like intact water mains. And boiling water just wastes, you know, all your lighter fluid and matches. Also, machete, hatchet, and multi-tool all kind of go in one category. Multitasking. If you can find something that can be used as a weapon and perform another function, it lightens your load, and it makes you look really, really smart. What to wear? Very, at its most basic, wear long clothing, no, you know, long like this. That is good. This is bad. Make sure that, you know, it doesn't have to be tight to the point of restricting movement, but make sure it's close enough to your body that, you know, you're not dragging like trip pants or a skirt behind you, something that can be easily grabbed. Same concept, keep your hair short or keep it tied in like a bun or under a hat or something. Durable boots. I love to pimp out my boots and whore them out because this is my second pair of boots, and the first pair I had lasted me 7 years of being worn almost every day of the year. They are good boots and they cost you about 120 bucks. Some of it, I know some people can't spring for $120 shoes, but you never know when you'll be able to hit up Payless again, so it might be worth it. Gloves. Keep you from, you know, avoid hand injuries is the main or obvious point at least. Also keeps any injuries to your hands, which are the most likely part of your body to get injured, covered and away from zombie bodily fluids. Leather jacket. I was gonna bring a long leather trench coat, but I forgot it because I'm stupid. But leather, you know, leather jackets, biker coats, whatever, offer some degree of protection against bites. You know, you'll still suffer like a broken bone or whatever, but you won't suffer that whole nasty zombie bit. Face covering. I left my mask too. I also had a face mask that I was going to bring and once again left. Another key point, keep your eyes, nose, and mouth covered because nothing screams embarrassing like fighting your way through a horde of zombies and then getting that really shitty 28 days later death when some blood drips in your eye. Kevlar. These are, everything down here is optional stuff. Kevlar. If you can get your hands on it, not necessarily like a ballistic vest or something, but number one piece of equipment you want to get, Kevlar cut-proof sleeves. I think they make them for chefs, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Make them for chefs. They make cut-proof gloves too. If they can withstand a good sharp chef knife, they can definitely withstand a bite. This was not my doing, but I'm not allowed to change things. If you feel it necessary, you can get a suit of chainmail. Now we start getting to the endurance section of the warnings. I have a friend who made a suit of chainmail, and he made it out of alternating metal and rubber links. And it only comes down about to his waist, and it weighs about 25 pounds. It's heavy. If you think you can handle that, by all means. But also keep in mind that you sweat like a pig under it. And it's even worse in plate. This stuff weighs about 80 pounds, so unless you have one of their body types, don't think about it. What's up next? Mike, do your thing. Wait, before you do. Since you guys were late because you were handling the other stuff, introduce yourselves.
My name is Jerry, aka Captain Swim from the Massachusetts chapter. I just want to apologize that we were late. The baggage check has been overrun. A tactical retreat was necessary. Charlie Company and Baker Company are taking care of it though.
My name is Ronald, and I'm just in front of theirs.
The Dark Lord. He is really the Dark Lord. He will save us all.
weapons, there's a couple things you want to think about when, thinking of your melee weapon. Talking points, I really don't care about those. But, alright. Now everybody likes, big flashy weapons, everybody wants to get, Final Fantasy, big old cleaver sword, but that's not really useful. You want to find something practical, kind of like, a crowbar or a hatchet, something you can use as a multi-tool. And, fuck. Used to break down doors, break open locks, something like that. Not something like, a $20 katana you get at a convention. This really doesn't work. Alright. Firearms. Now, okay. Firearms, if you can get your hands on them, it's very nice. What you also want to think about for firearms is ammo capacity, accuracy, and all that good stuff. Now, it would be really cool to go out and get a 6-shooter, start blasting off zombie heads. But that's not really how it works. You're probably going to run out of ammo and get eaten. So, you're probably better off, with something like a Glock or something like that. And if you're talking about primary weapons, like, an assault rifle, if you can get your hands on one, that'd be awesome. But, you want to get something like, M4, something light, something that's not going to weigh you down. Something anyone can carry. Moving on. I think I already went over firearms. Well, secondary firearms.
Your backup plan, basically.
Real quick. We will have a question and answer section at the end, but because we're all ADD, please try and remember all your questions at the end of the panel. If we don't get to them then, we'll be outside and you can just find us and ask. But rest assured, all your questions will be answered.
Alright, now we get to fun things. Alright.
Just let everybody know, the acid is the actual burning kind, not the fun kind. You don't want to be chicken balls when the zombocalypse comes.
If you find you're not being challenged enough, hey, spice it up.
Also, if you're about to die, it might make meeting your end a little bit more, welcoming. It's like, hey, you know what, I'm going anyway, may as well die with a smile.
I always want to be Jimi Hendrix before I die. But, now, explosives. Explosives are very situational. You don't want to go run around throwing grenades and, have zombies crawling at your ankles. You want to have a plan for something like, you lead them down the alley, chuck a grenade, run. Same with acid. You just don't, go around carrying a vat of acid, dumping them on people. Because, now you got a zombie run around with acid. Flammable stuff, like napalm. Napalm's very fun, but also extremely situational. You don't want flaming zombies to be coming after you. So you want them to be, in a corridor where you can keep them contained while they can burn. Until they can't follow you. Alright. Power tools. In case you want to drill a zombie in the head.
We don't mean jacked up dudes from Jersey Shore when we say power tools, by the way.
Chainsaws. Yes. Chainsaws. Chainsaws are, very fun weapon, but not very